Well, welcome everyone. This is Jeanne White from Passionate World Talk Radio. I am the host of Social Connections. I didn't mean to put that all in, folks, but I'm here to produce the show for Holly Brown. Skin is In. She is doing a series here to help and be more informative on ways and means to help people with treatments with problems with skin after treatment of cancer. Well, welcome, Holly.
Thank you, Jeannie. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Good. I'm so happy and honored to have our guest today, Kathy Armany, who actually can share a couple of different perspectives on the topic. So she has been through our program, but she's also an RN and does a lot of work with cancer patients. So I want to introduce Kathy and thank her for coming. I really appreciate it. And so maybe we can just start out, Kathy, with you just telling a little bit about your story and your professional background and how you came to know FAB.
Sure. So thanks for having us, Jeanne. Thanks, Holly, for asking me to do this with you. As Holly said, I'm a registered nurse, and I was actually studying holistic nursing when I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. Very young, very devastating disease. And just came out of the blue. So I was studying holistic nursing, and I knew that it's not all just Western medicine. There was more that was needed for me. I just knew that for myself. So I just sought out a lot of different healing ways that certainly helped me. I'm here today, and I've had a lot of scares from then to now. But I've always incorporated the mind, body, spirit piece. And I actually was the program director for Cancer Support Community of Massachusetts. And Holly called and said, hey, I have a program. I can come in for free and I can help your participants. And we had so many people who were eager to hear what she and actually Christina had to say. And that's when I met them, maybe 5 or 6 years ago now, Holly?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So they came to Cancer Support Community. Oh, sorry, I have a dog. Jade, stop. Jade, stop. And they did this whole program of teaching people how they can protect their skin through radiation, through chemo, through the stress of treatment, the stress of having the disease. And then not only teaching them things, but they provided free facials, free, equipment, things that would help them, oils and lotions. And I actually partook of that myself. That's how I got so close to Christina Murdoch. Is she your lead esthetician?
No, Jordan is, but she's, yep,
okay.
Yep, she's next on the post. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I just found it, number one, I saw what it did for people. I had a couple of people who were really struggling, not only with, because we had groups and we would sit and talk about how the disease impacts every area of your life. And lots of times the focus of our Western model is we're going to keep you alive. That's the focus. And there were other things people needed. They needed emotional support. They needed skin support. They needed to know there was more to their life. And this really helped. Your the way you present yourself to the world, your self-esteem, women that I was dealing with, and men too, were just like, who am I now with this disease? And look at me. I don't look like myself and I don't feel like myself. And this was an added therapy, really.
Right. And that's what we try to explain to people, that we're not just about, fixing or treating your skin issues, but we're also a support system. We're an ear to listen. And we like to say that we provide a safe space for people to come and just be able to be themselves. They can either totally forget about the whole fact they have cancer, or they can talk to us for the whole hour. We kind of let them dictate, but we feel that, we really tout that, hey, we're experts at treating skin conditions, but we really offer a lot more than that. And so, it all comes along with the services that we try to provide. So we're trying to focus on letting people know that, hey, we're also a support system and, a place for you to go where you're not going to be judged and you can speak freely. Where I know sometimes when somebody's sick, other people, their families or whatnot, they may not have such an open opportunity.
Right. Sometimes it's not so much that they don't understand as they can't even go there. They can't honestly have a conversation because it makes it real and it frightens them.
Right.
I remember times I walked in and I couldn't even speak. I was crying. I remember one time my nephew was diagnosed with cancer and I went into Christina and I just cried and she was, she was there for me and I felt safe.
Right.
And then other times we're laughing and being silly as can be. But no matter what it is, it's accepted.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I just want to, maybe you could touch a little bit on, so prior to hearing about FAB and even speaking clinically as well as your own experience, did you happen to have any skin issues, and what type of assistance was available for people who did have skin issues? Was there any, or what would people do?
So I've always had dry skin my whole life and sensitive skin, and having a GI cancer very much disrupted that even more. So I would say, hey, I'm having a problem with, breakouts, or it's so dry. And Christina would say, okay, I want you to try just a little bit of this. You give me very specific, don't use this anymore, use this. So yeah, it's always been helpful. I always think of one participant in particular, I'm not going to say her name, who had a horrific experience with her chemo, to the point where even though it was going to pretty much save her life because she had stage 4, she said, I cannot live like this. I cannot live like this. My skin feels like I am being stung by 1,000 bees all the time. I can't. It's too painful. It's more painful than, the disease. And you guys came and you made some recommendations. And I also remember her having to clear it with her physician, her oncologist, who was a big mucky muck. And the nurse in the practice was like, oh, you can't do anything. And the doctor said, no, if that's from Holly, it's fine. I remember that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And what a difference. What a difference for her, because she was beet red and swollen. And, she came back to group and she was like, oh my God, they're not, the bees aren't, stinging me anymore. And I can do this now. I can do this. It enabled her to continue her treatment, which is huge.
Right.
So, I mean, that's the one that really stuck out the most for me.
Yep.
And also just people feeling more beautiful.
Right.
And feeling like, I didn't lose that part of myself too. I've lost so many other things.
Yeah.
But maybe I didn't
tell us that it brings a sense of normalcy to them.
Yes. Yeah.
So, clinically wise, medically wise, from your experiences being an RN and whatnot, have you ever heard of services offered to help skin or,
No.
or no?
I'll tell you, I feel like I'm giving it all away, but I have like a whole bunch of scars from multiple surgeries. And because I was holistic, I would use specific oils. I would massage. I would do things because I developed keloids. I'm fair. I'm sensitive. And I had ropes like from where my chemo port was. I had ropes, like big gnarly things on my chest. They're gone now. Because I researched and found what worked for me and I worked at it. I feel like you guys are already well beyond that. That's your expertise.
Right.
And so that's my own personal.
Right.
Yeah.
And so we do try to do, we've been doing this for about 5 years. We have a lot of experience working with scars and also preventing and treating radiation burns. We actually were part of a medical study that has been peer reviewed and published. And that is a treatment that we came up with where we pre-treat people. So if people have any type of skin reactions or something that, I know a lot of people tend to just say, oh, well, it's part of the treatment, but it does have a big effect on people. And, even during the pandemic, we're happy to, get products to people, or if they reach out and try to work with them, even if we have interviews over Zoom or whatnot, we can still try to help them remotely. So I guess my next question is, majority of the services that we offer are at no cost. And, we understand that when somebody undergoes a serious illness, that the economic impact can be huge. So talk a little bit about how important, you feel it was that the services were at no cost, and how, some people might feel like, oh, I don't want to take advantage, or they may be too proud, but, how important it is to take advantage of the services.
So I think a lot of us would feel that's a luxury. I wasn't somebody who went and got facials on a regular basis. In fact, the first one I ever had was a nurse friend of mine when I was sick said, you're coming with me and we're doing this. I'd never had one before. It's not something everybody partakes of or thinks of. And it does feel like it's a huge luxury. And when you're strapped for money, which you could be, I was a registered nurse working full time, but you get a diagnosis that lands you, completely off your feet. You don't have an income anymore. You barely have health insurance. That's unfortunately the way things are in our country. Sorry.
Right.
And no, I would never think that with the precious little bit I might have, that I would go get a luxurious item like a facial. So to be able to have that free of charge, that was like, are you kidding me? And then the other piece you're speaking of, you think, oh, no, save that for someone who really, really needs it. I'm not that bad. No, I can manage this. No, give it to somebody else. And I know myself, and I know a number of our participants were very much, it's a gift to yourself. And I'm almost going to cry. It's hard to accept when you're in that low space. It's hard to accept something so lovely for yourself. It does. It lifts your spirit. It makes you, you believe in the kindness and the goodness of people again. Like this thing really exists. These people really are doing this. And they're not charging you a cent.
Right. So, yeah, that's a great thing that we can offer. So, again, I know Jeannie's scrolling our information. We're always looking for donors and funders and people to attend fundraisers and whatnot. We post all that on our Facebook page. Why don't you talk a little bit about the products and your experience with the different products that you have tried and used and that Tina's recommended for you, and talk a little bit about, what type of routine she put together for you and whatnot.
Well, she like added stuff I never did.
Yeah.
And now it's like part of my routine. Because I was so sensitive and I would like just break out. Sometimes it was acne. Sometimes it was just eruptions like this red, and it wasn't really rosacea. I think it was just stress, honestly. Very calming things, specifically for sensitive skin. And And I know, like, you guys have a special oil. I forget what it's called.
Yep, the Skin Essence Essential
Yes.
Oil. Yep.
Yes. So I've used that. I used Hale and Hush quite a bit to really calm things down. And then after like a couple of years of that, she gave me Image or Image.
Yep, Image.
I always call it Image, and she laughed at me.
That's okay.
And even like something as simple as like using coconut oil to calm when things are like so inflamed has been really good. I don't always know the name. I know you had a new product I was trying that came from Israel, I think.
Yeah, yep, the Anna.
Yeah. So she gave me a sample of that. I've been trying that. I absolutely love it.
Yep.
So it's just, I don't know, it's taking care of yourself, and nurses in particular aren't great at taking care of themselves. They're great at taking care of everybody else. Even just learning that aspect, like,
right.
You know what? It's time to take care of yourself.
Yeah, and we do a lot of, a lot of education with people, and the last thing that you want to do is offer somebody who is suffering from cancer a product that contains ingredients that may interfere with cancer treatment or actually cause cancer. So we really vet our products, and every one of us goes through testing the products, using them. We have a relationship with each of the skincare companies that we work with. And they also make a commitment to support the charity and whatnot. And just good to let people know, too, that we are completely transparent, that we're happy to provide ingredient sheets and, speak with the doctors, and we don't replace medical advice. So we make sure that the doctor clears everything.
Yeah, I know you have like no alcohol in any of your, which is very irritating, and no carcinogens. That's a point that I just know that you do that, and I just trust it. So I don't even think about it anymore.
Yep. So, So maybe you can talk a little bit about the medical community as being an RN, and how things have kind of progressed from, becoming more open to holistic treatments, and becoming, more acceptable to incorporating other types of treatments other than just using the Western medicine. Do you feel that doctors are coming around to that?
Yes. When I started studying it, I want to say it was about 18 years ago now. And I remember thinking, this is what it's supposed to be. This is why I became a nurse. Like, doesn't everybody do this?
Yeah.
And truly, it is evolving. It is evolving now, thank God, where I think people are listening more to the needs of their patients, understanding, it's not just, oh, you have cancer, it's in your body, you cut it out, it's all fine. No, there's so much more to it. There's so much more, dealing with your emotions, dealing with your spirituality, your environment. And the skin piece has everything to do with environment. What are you putting on your body that, the skin is the largest organ, right? And it's absorbing all the time. And if you're putting carcinogens on, you think you're helping yourself, you're not. So education, understanding, and I think really, really listening, like you said, how you accept people as they come. I think people need to be heard. Like, yourself better than anybody else. And if you say, I have a feeling this is related to blah, 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 chances are you're probably right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we intuitively know more than has been accepted.
Right. And I know with myself and the medical issues that I've experienced, I had a tendency in the beginning to want to talk about it a lot. And, people around you kind of say, geez, can you talk about something else? Or, without being rude. But And that is why we really emphasize that we are all, you won't get that from us. We, we're happy to listen and have people, and some people come and they don't want to say a word to you.
Right.
And which is completely fine as well. So,
yes.
We try to really, encompass the whole form of the treatment, where we can help with listening
when you said people, sometimes they don't want to hear it. Sometimes I think it's too scary for them. But I've heard a lot of participants in our cancer group say, they want me to like just put a happy face on it. Just be positive and you'll be fine. You just need to be positive. And that is not the answer.
Right.
And it's like people have taken that positive thinking really in the wrong direction, because you need to acknowledge what's going on. You need to be honest about it, have a safe place to talk about it. And then you can put the positive spin, after you've processed it. You can't just, boom, it's done. No.
Right.
Because then you're stuffing it. It doesn't. And
maybe you can talk a little bit about, I know that, we do have a survivor program. So if somebody has been out of treatment for, years, it still has its overall effect on the skin. We tell people skin becomes compromised. It's forever changed.
Yeah.
And so can you talk a little bit about the importance of even people who may have been, out of treatment 3 to 5 years, how this is something that they can certainly take advantage of, and how you feel that it could help somebody like that?
Yeah. So actually, I'm one of those people. I usually book Christina once a month. I haven't seen her in about 3, which is really hard due to, the pandemic. But, just that touch in, that how's it going? And to continue what I learned about self-care, and it's at a reduced rate. I know that, which is huge.
Yep.
So it enables me to say, this luxury, I'm going to keep doing it because it's part of my healing program to keep myself in a good space, emotionally, mentally, as well as the physical. Yeah.
Right. So with our survivor program, you get 3 free treatments and heavily discounted on the products and whatnot. And then, as you know, we have what's called a pay it forward program. So people can move to come as much as they like, paying a nominal fee, and all that money goes back into funding the treatments for other people. So what type of advice would you give to somebody who is newly diagnosed as to would you rate Karen for their skin and the emotional support and services that Fab offers as important, or would you recommend it to them right away, or are there other things that you feel would be more important?
So here's the thing. I think people have different ways going about their own personal crisis. So you have to do kind of almost what works for you. But one thing I always would say to participants is get yourself a team. Get yourself a team of people that you trust and is on your side and is going to take care of you. Your doctor, a nurse practitioner, a nutritionist, radiologist, oncologist, girlfriends, whatever. Know who your team is. And if you are someone who can manage, get an oncology esthetician as well, because you can prevent some damage with preventative things that they know that we don't know. Speaking of we don't know, I know you have lymphatic specialists.
Yep.
That is so rare, honestly. And a lot of people in the medical professional have not been so aware of that. It's coming more to the forefront. But people who've had surgery and lymph nodes removed, and then they get, the lymphedema. It can be pretty devastating. And you have a program where you have a specialist who knows what to do to help prevent that.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of thing that your doctor is focused on your life.
Right.
Save your life. Not thinking about the ramifications of living after a cancer diagnosis and what it does to your body and your mind and everything else. So that's another thing I forgot about.
We're really excited because we have Tina, one of our practitioners, who is actually going to school to become a lymphedema specialist. So she'll be able to do the taping and the wrapping and all that. So we're really excited because we know that those services are really, hard to find, and they're on, they're not readily available. So we're really excited about that, and then we'll be able to offer those services as well. So that's something great. Also, just to kind of touch a little bit on, we've done some retreats together, and where people come all day, and they have different services, support services, as well as they get treatments and whatnot. So we're hoping to continue with those as well. So maybe you can just talk a little bit about what happens during those retreats.
I love them. I really love them. We had 2 set up that we had to cancel. Generally, it's like an all-day Saturday or an all-day Sunday type of thing. Can I stay where we do it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hope Floats in Kingston, which is started as a grief center, and now they actually deal with all kinds of personal crisis in people's life, and it's a support center. So what we do is we have an all day of absolute support. So we'll do we'll have people there that provide massage. We'll have people that do facials and education around that. Very, very gentle yoga. We'll do support groups where people can connect and talk about what's happening for them. And of course, this is all done with people that are specialists in this area, facilitators that have, been educated all around this, and oncology estheticians and, certified yoga teachers, reflexology, did I say Reiki? Like you name it, and you can pick and choose which practitioner, you want to be signed up with for like mini treatments for a half hour about, I think. It's just a wonderful, people leave like they've given to themselves. It's total self-care. Provide a beautiful lunch, beautiful grounds. You can walk around. There's a labyrinth. It's just, it's a day for the person who's been really devastated by this disease, a safe place for them to express what it's been for them and get some support, physical, emotional, nourishment, the whole gamut. I just love it.
You get to kind of be around people who are maybe in the same situation or hear about other people's experience, that you might learn something that you didn't know by hearing other people's stories and whatnot.
Yeah. And it's interesting because these are usually people who've never met one another before, and how quickly she's before me in treatment. She's after me. He's done this and is almost at the other end. And what happens is they learn from each other and they support one another in a beautiful way.
Right. Yeah, we love doing those. I can't wait till we can get back to doing those. And if people are interested in signing up, I know on the Hope Floats website, they post them, and we try to post them on our Facebook page as well. And we've started to do some skin clinics and whatnot. So, looking forward to getting back. Right now, we're watching what Governor Baker comes out with as far as the rules and us opening back up and whatnot. There hasn't been anything as specific guidelines presented yet, but hopefully, in the very near future, we can start to work on that. We also have to take into account that people's immune systems are compromised.
Right.
So, we already practice very serious, sanitary protocols. However, we will adjust and make it accommodating for people when we can do it again. So any last thoughts or anything else that you feel is important to add?
I would just say if you're going through treatment, if you know somebody who is or about to or has just finished, this is a level of support that don't overlook it. Don't overlook it. It is extremely valuable. And as we were touching on earlier, I think we're beginning to learn that it's more than meets the eye, that all these things matter and it's all part of what I would call your healing plan. And so get them on your team if you can.
Good. Jeannie, do we have any questions from anybody or?
No, people have just been coming in and just saying hi to you. Like, I think I just showed this gentleman.
Yeah.
And then there was a Lou or Laurie trying to figure out. Yeah.
Okay.
There were some people there. I asked them if they had any questions, to let us know, or just to say hi, so
right.
It's a little new because it's on your page now. It is being displayed on your page. So maybe the next time they'll get a little more comfortable with it.
Yes.
And more. I can always do a quick PR out there and say, Holly Brown in the Skin is In program is going to be on and blah, blah, and just say if you have any questions, send them to me or write to us at the time of the broadcast. So it's a learning curve, a little bit. And plus of all the stuff that's going on in America right now, people are a little confused. So but anyways, there are some people that came by and you had quite a few people viewing there for a while. So there were people on.
Good.
So I think it's a choice, it's just a chance of just getting them more aware of it and making it every 2 weeks we're going to be doing this, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So they'll get used to that. Every 2 weeks this will be happening, and then maybe down the road invite 6 or 7 people to come on we'll do that on a Zoom, and maybe that'll be a question and answer program. How does that? Yeah. All right. I'm just trying to think of ways. I wish there was a way I could have sighed myself out of here. So you just two.
Oh no! Don't worry about it. No.
Great. It was great.
But it's a fabulous series, and if no one takes part in it, they're crazy because there's a wealth of information here. Just alone on what you talked about today, Kathy. What is happening and what the treatments are available and the support that you get from looking and feeling BAP. So I think it's a win-win. But it just takes time for people to gather the strength. Sometimes they just don't have it. They're weary and stuff like that. Yeah. But the more you come on, the more you keep talking about this, the better it gets. That's exactly what happened to our caregiver series that Betsy Wurzel's doing, and it's phenomenal now, but it's 2 years this month.
Wow.
So it takes time,
Yeah.
And you have a product, and maybe the next time, I suppose I can ask this: bring some products on and show them.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
When you're talking to one of the guests, maybe she can say, well, "This is what I'm taking."
Right.
Because visual is very good also.
Right.
And everything, and everyone likes essential oils. I know I do.
Yeah. I love them.
So, and also you can also sell it to a person like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that supports the whole program.
Yes, exactly.
Win-win.
We always have free samples available, so we're happy to send those out too if people want to try the products or whatnot.
Yeah. Before you close, can you just talk a little bit about what we did a week or so ago for the nurses in Brockton?
Sure. So during the pandemic, we like to, keep ourselves involved with the community and whatnot. And so we do a lot of work directly with Brockton Hospital. They offer our program to their patients in the new Green Cancer Center. So we felt that maybe it might be nice to send over some skincare kits for the nurses on the front lines that are going through a lot, dealing with the COVID patients and whatnot. So we actually did 100 nurses kits to Brockton Hospital, and we did 100 nurses kits to the VA hospital in West Roxbury. And so we got a lot of great feedback with those. People said that, the community is providing a lot of food and people are bringing a lot of stuff, but the nurses really like the care packages because that was for them. It was to help them and to make them feel better. So we were happy to do that. And so that was a great uplifting event for us to be involved in, and we were happy to provide the materials.
I love that you did that. Thank you.
Thank you.
As a representative of, the profession. Thank you.
Yes. Yep.
Because sometimes the nurses, they need a little tender care also.
Absolutely.
And those tender cares, yes, the food is excellent. It really is. And, bringing flowers. But sometimes a little care to their skin does wonders.
Right. And we know that they've been washing their hands a lot, and we put some hand repair stuff in there for them, gave them some lip stuff. So, and gave them some information on our organization if they have people that, could be in need of our services and whatnot. So it was a great opportunity to kind of spread a little bit about us, but to offer some help as well.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
Yes, that's everything. Now, you guys, if you've been, do you have any more that you'd like to talk about, or are you?
I don't think so, unless Kathy, do you have anything more to add?
No, just that, it is a wonderful program, and I can speak about, as I have for myself personally and for so many participants of the cancer support groups that I've run, and anybody who's come to the retreats. It's benefited a lot of people. More ways than I think sometimes people realize. So if you need it or someone who needs it, please, share this info.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone. I want to thank Holly Brown, and I want to thank Kathy Armany. Oh my God, I'm destroying her name.
All right.
Oh, God.
Armani.
You're treacherous. I apologize. I really want to thank you both for, I'm the producer, so I'm just going to end it all, for everyone here. And thank you, Holly, and thank you, Kathy. And I hope, obviously we'll be here in another 2 weeks, and we'll promote that more, because this is also being aired on Holly Brown's Facebook page, which is Looking and Feeling Fab, Holly?
Yes, you look feel fab. Yep.
Good. So
Great.
thank you, everyone, and I hope everyone goes well and enjoy the week. And thank you again for participating. See you in 2 weeks. Jeanne White, Passionate World Talk Radio, producer. Bye now.
Bye.